Are you guys going to be turning into the Game Awards later this week? Even though Blizzard and Activision, we know they're not going to be there other than the nominations. We ain't, look, they got to be like Cuomo on CNN. They got to go.
Get down here, murder.
Finally found your own justice. This memorable day marks your graduation with your false self.
As a black man in America, I've seen too many instances of the isms, racisms, sexisms, I don't like you isms, and everything else that's in between painted a different color, but really the same way. So when I see companies like Activision and Blizzard / whatever they are, or other major companies who have been getting outed for these situations and things that they're doing, more power to the people and to situations to get them up out of the office and get new, fresh ideas and non-misogynistic folks, non-racist basis folks out of those positions of power who are developing our games, which you, for those of y'all that follow me for more than a little bit, know I'm always clamoring about more black protagonists, having gay characters in a story, that's whether comics, anime, or video games, but not just having a gay character to be the token gay character because that's what you feel is in at the time, as well as more female characters in representations in games, especially that aren't just damsel in distress. Aren't we tired of that trope by now? Like, the news came last week from a tweet from Jess Kingley, which stated, which if y'all haven't known yet, they ain't gonna be there. Beyond its nominations, I can confirm that Activision Blizzard will not take part in this year's Game Awards. I've said it before, and I'll say it again, and I'll say it again, and I'll say it again and again, is we as consumers, we vote with our dollars. If you don't like how a game is operating or navigating, or the people behind the game are making it, then stop spending your money on the game. If you and everybody else who don't like these ways and reasons how they're doing things, and stop buying the games, stop buying the DLC, and stop continuously to support these companies that are doing things like this, well, they're going to have to listen, because the bottom line is the dollar bill, y'all. And EA, Ubisoft, we see y'all. You're not exempt either. She can cook, she can clean, and she walk her. Yeah, that's that classic Jay-Z. God damn, she fine, but she party all the time. I love girls, 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 girls I do adore. That used to be my college anthem. Holla at you when I come off tour. She like, oh.
I'll catch something bigger next time.
And now that Final Fantasy XIV has really taken off, I think WoW has lost a huge play, a huge stake what it had on the MMO market. And as far as Call of Duty, I mean, didn't I just say that on a video yesterday? They got a blueprint where they can do something new, but we just keep going back to the 40s. Why? Game Awards usually are broke down the same way, well, life is typically broke down. What I be wanting to happen, who I be thinking is gonna win, my pick, it rarely pick. Like, I just knew I was gonna be 6'1", 6'2", point guard for the Los Angeles Lakers. Well, as y'all see, that didn't happen. I'm out here making the big bucks on YouTube and Twitch. So here's who I like, But here's who I think is actually going to win for a few categories for the Game Awards. I'm not about to go through every single one because we ain't got that time. We ain't got that kind of time. Y'all don't want to hear about every single game, do you? Because I don't want to talk about every single one. I don't. Best family games, and doesn't it just kind of seem unfair because Nintendo wins this pretty much every year? It's almost stacked in Nintendo's favor when you have like 4 or 5 games that are in one genre. Like, just give it to Nintendo. Just give it to Nintendo. The nominees are It Takes Two, Mario Party Superstars, the new Pokemon Snap, Super Mario 3D World Bowser's Fury, WarioWare Get It Together. I think I might be right on this one, which is the one I'm gonna pick. I think it's gonna go to Mario Party Superstars, and I also think the millions of fans are gonna vote for Mario Party Superstars as well. I did that on a video last month talking about the games you should be playing, and that's definitely one. Taking a mix between all of the best elements of all of the mini games and all of the characters and events and putting them on one Mario game, party game, and actually being able to play online with your buddies. Family Game of the Year. The best action game nominees are Back 4 Blood, Chivalry 2, Deathloop, Far Cry 6, and Returnal. I haven't played Deathloop, but from what I've seen, I think that would be the one that I like. I mean, you got the sister and the brother, you know, representation matters. And it was actually a really cool concept. And anyone that's played the game that I've heard or seen other streamers do, it looks great, and I have heard nothing but high praise for it, other than the fact that it's a little bit short. But I think that it's going to be Returnal who wins this category because, well, it has all of those type of feels to it. You know, one thing about Sony, all their games are very, very ultimately cinematic. Like, that's their niche, that's their thing, that's that they're doing. And then the whole being, if you die, you gotta start back over. It was talked about whether you hate it or you love it. You know what Returnal is if you're a gamer, even if you ain't got a PlayStation 5. I've just been crying a lot. What's wrong with me? The best mobile game nominees are Fantasia, Genshin Impact, League of Legends Wild Rift, Marvel Future Revolution, and Pokemon Unite. I actually think Pokemon Unite is going to win this category because, well, Pokemon, like Mario, Pokemon, like literally if Mario wasn't the mascot of Nintendo, it would be Pokemon, it would be Pikachu. Like, Pokemon is, that's they one, that's they Neo. I'm actually going to go with Fantasia. Shout out to the OG, triple OG, Hanabaru Shanakachi! Shanakachi! The Godfather of Final Fantasy. The game looks straight gorgy. I just can't play it yet because I don't have an Apple. I'm an Android kind of guy. The fighting game nominees were, surprisingly, was more than a few solid fighting games this year. Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, the Hinabara Chronicles, Guilty Gear Strive, Multi Blood, Type Lumina, Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl, which, what the hell happened to Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl? Like, that was supposed to be the Smash Brothers killer, and it died off before I could even see Rocco. Are we gonna get a Rocco? Can we see Rocco? Rocco's Modern Life? Baby Arnold? Please? If Disney didn't have Doug would have been cool too, but Disney has Doug like it owns the rest of the world. Virtual Fighter 5, The Ultimate Showdown. I'm actually going to say, I believe I'm gonna be right on this one too. I think just from all the buzz and from everything I've seen competitively from Guilty Gear Strive, that Guilty Gear Strive is going to be my pick, and I feel that it's going to be the game of the fighting game of the year. That's just, but don't take my word for it. I just feel it deep in my heart. I feel it. That's where it's going to go. The most anticipated game nominees are Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, the sequel, there's no name to it yet, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, and Starfield. For me, y'all should know, it's gonna be Starfield. Just Skyrim in space? Are you kidding me? Skyrim in space with the possibility of party members? Skyrim in space? That's like taking Mass Effect, but then making it a full open world, but in space. So that's like taking Mass Effect and make love to No Man's Sky, and they have a baby, and then it's Starfield. I actually think the game is going to go to, it's going to be a toss-up. It's gonna be a toss-up. Is it gonna be Breath of the Fire? That needed me a remake too. Breath of the Fire was a hell of a great RPG. Breath of the Wild 2 or God of War Ragnarok. But I'm actually gonna say the most anticipated game is going to be voted in as God of War Ragnarok. I got a whole bunch of dislikes, like 60-something%. When I spoke up about, the whole Ragnarok incident with the black character. That tells me what? People sensitive as I don't know what. They love that Ragnarok. They love that God of War. Don't say nothing about Kratos. Don't talk about his fictional lore, folks. You better not make a character black. That's fictional. Even though, you know how I feel with reskins. I mean, the original character would have been better. Best role-playing game of the year. I've been waiting for this one. The nominees are Cyberpunk 2077. Damn, Cyberpunk did come out this year, and it was so broke back. Even though it had promise, and probably a solid game now. I ain't picked it up since it glitched on me a few times. And I ain't the only one. Monster Hunter Rise, Scarlet Nexus, Shinigami Tensei 5, and Tales of Arise. I put damn near 200 hours into Tales of Arise, and it made me have the feels again. I ain't had the feels for a game where they actually had like romance in the game. And well, since I had to replay an old 20-year-old game like Final Fantasy X, because, nowadays, you don't have romance in games. Like, especially in my RPGs, folks just don't. Why? I think that the RPG game of the year is going to go to Monster Hunter Rise. It was one of the fastest selling Switch games. And I got it. You got it. Pretty much everybody who like RPGs and MMOs and just grinding out, fighting, well, they like it. It took the best parts from Monster Hunter World and Dauntless Rise. Last but not least, the Game of the Year nominees are Deathloop, It Takes Two, Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet & Clank Rift, and Resident Evil 8 Village. I'm gonna go with my lady. Forever, my lady. Samus. You're like a dream. Why they change your hair blonde? I wish it'd go back. I think the Game of the Year award is going to go to RE8 Village. This had been one of the more talked about games in a long time, especially when it came to Resident Evil. And it just feels like the game had been out for so long and people really are still talking about it. You can still see the memes. That's a huge dick. Deuce Bigelow? Mel Gigolo? Nobody? But anyway, that's all I have for you today. Do you agree with any of the picks that I picked for Game of the Years? It's like a million other topics. We ain't gonna go into the million other topics because this video will be a million other minutes. And I ain't gonna take up y'all time. Y'all is busy, folks, and I appreciate you stopping by and taking the time out of your busy day to chop it up with your boy Q. As always, interweb, remember to eat, sleep, keep, repeat. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace. Longest time, I wasn't being legit or for real with myself either because that was a part of me. And even though I was still doing. I was doing it in secret. And then it just hit me.
And that's when it hit me. And that's when I became a geek. Finally, the sleeper has awakened. I am the prince of all geeks once again.